1, 2, 3, clap. So we're going to do these AI introductions, are we? I've just lost my... Hang on. There it is. Hi, and welcome to Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, the one, the only, the kilted wonder from the land of haggis and shortbread, my co-host, hailing from the beautiful country of Scotland. They may have a thick accent that sounds like they're constantly trying to sell you a bagpipe, but trust me, they're a real gem. Just don't ask them about the Loch Ness Monster. They get a bit defensive about it, is Brogan Hastings.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your thongs on and grab a cold beer because we've got a special guest joining us all the way from the land down under. Please welcome the one, the only, the true king of the outback, the master of the Barbie, and the man who can throw a shrimp on the Barbie better than anyone else, our co-host from Western Australia, Wayne Giovinazzi.
They give us some long introductions, don't they?
I don't like them.
Yeah, no.
I
we had to do it one
asked,
time.
I was like, can we go back and just put a joke in there? And it gave me a Western Australia joke, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. No. See, I said make it funny, and it tried its best. It threw in it was going like a joke a second. I think it was trying.
Yeah. I mean, I took, because you told me that you'd done that, and I took exactly what you said, except changed Scotland to Western Australia.
Yeah.
And I said please and thank you, but
just so the robot overlords don't destroy you when it's time.
Yeah, I mean, I've started doing that because in my car, I can talk, like, I've got the audio thing in my car where I can press a button, it brings up like Siri or whatever, and I'll say, play whatever on YouTube Music, please. And then it says, playing, now playing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, thank you. It's polite.
See, I hate my Google. My Google just doesn't... It's like a unruly child, teenager that doesn't want to follow instructions. Like just now, I was asking it where my phone was because I couldn't remember that I plugged it into charge for like 5 minutes. And it was like, I'm sorry, I don't recognize your voice. It's like, whatever, Google.
As someone who's sat and watched you struggle with Google and lights, can confirm. Google, hallway. No, not the bedroom, the hallway.
Do it. But the reason why we did the AI written introductions is not only because it was inspiration from Pod Therapy doing their chat GBT therapist BG whatever it is, but also we got this cheese bag mail. It's clearly. Yeah. It's only to give context to our introduction. It's clearly spam, but it says, "Hey, you are being replaced with AI." Then in brackets it says artificial intelligence software. It's still early, and you can start using the power of AI before anyone else. And then it gives us a link that I dare not click. P.S. I'm sending this to you first, so you can get your early start. Don't miss out. Best, Harold Johnson. Well, I got news for you, Harold. We're way ahead of you. We've gone ahead.
100% definitely a real person.
Oh yeah, you can tell by his completely non-generic surname, Johnson. But yeah, it's not hard to look at Twitter and see BuzzFeed replacing writers with AI and CNET now being replaced with AI, which is weird because I know someone who writes for CNET.
Really?
I didn't dare reach out to them and say, "Hey, are you actually an AI?"
I haven't played CNET for years. That was a good game.
No. What? CNET.
Yeah.
Wait, are you saying CNET, the board game, or CNET, the website?
The board game.
I don't know someone who wrote for a board game. I know someone who wrote for the tech website the letter C, net.
Never heard of that, so that's why I'm confused.
Yeah. I say I know them. I'm using the term a bit loosely. I don't really know them. I know them on the internet a little bit. Okay, let's say I'll put it. It's Mark Serrels, hails from the land of Scotland, and he used to be the editor of Kotaku AU a long time ago, and I did meet him kind of one time. I was at a game conference, and it was when you remember the PlayStation Move?
Oh god, yeah.
The wand controllers, their answer to the Wii remote.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing Medieval Knights or whatever it was. So I was waving my hands around doing this, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see two people walk in and standing there watching me play. And one of them was like one of the organizers of the conference. The other was some Scottish-looking ginger-headed guy. And the organizer says to the person running the stall. Oh, this is Mark Serrels from Kotaku. He's here as well because he's been invited just to find out about these. And he watched me play this Medieval Knights for a while. And I dared not turn around and say, "Hi, Mark. I'm not a weirdo or anything, but we actually kind of know each other from the internet." Instead, I just straight ahead, waving my hands around like a fool, and then walked away. And then I tweeted about it later, and it's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." But obviously, it was in a Scottish accent.
Oh, I remember that.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, AI. I wasn't going to ask him if he has been taken over by AI or not, because he probably has. No,
I have most definitely not been replaced by AI.
Well, do you think that your job could be replaced by an AI?
No. No? I think certain aspects of my job could be, but I don't think fully, because not everything's picked up. But certainly with the way things are now, you can use AI to replace it.
Okay. See, I don't think my job could be replaced by AI yet, because there's too much physical work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
I fully believe our extracurricular job could be replaced by AI. It may not be very good, but I think we could be out of the podcast game and art game.
Oh, I think we're still a long way away from the art stuff. I'm hoping that the art stuff dies a death like NFTs did, because...
Yeah, exactly.
I can understand why, like, when you see some stuff get generated, like avatars and stuff, I think that's quite cool. But at the same time, the amount of theft that's gone on,
that's all
just to get that, it's all theft, and it's not good. If you look into the details, like, I remember seeing one where it was just different handshakes, and they were not hands. Yeah, the abs, it just cannot do that.
No, it's what is it? How to Spot a Fairy. It's the same rules. Count the teeth, count the fingers, or something like that. And because AI can't do well, I've seen some terrifying mouths and some terrifying hands from AI art. Mm-hmm. But then again, this was, when I was traveling. It was when it started to hit mainstream. And I put in some prompts, and some of them were terrible. Others were good, like Vampire Jerry Seinfeld was good. George Costanza Nendroid toy was really good. That was surprising. And this was on like a basic free one as well, not one that you have to pay for or anything like that. Yeah,
you did one for us as well, where you...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which came out creepily close to...
Terrifyingly accurate-ish, yeah.
Yeah, and we have not used it since.
No, I forgot it existed. Thanks for bringing that back to the forefront of my mind.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of any of the AI stuff. It's fun to use just for stupid reasons, but the issue is when money is involved.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah, for a joke, for a laugh, anything like that, but replacing actual artists who are far better than you or I.
Hang on. Are we being the Lars Ulrichs here?
No, I don't think... Is
that what we're doing?
Well, no, because we don't have a problem with AI art in general. We do have a problem with... Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, because it's not like... I always think back to the South Park episode, which is funny because we were just talking about South Park. Whenever this comes up, I think about the South Park episodes where they're like, take Kyle, and I'm pretty sure Kenny as well, and say, see this poor rapper, his child wants an island for Christmas. He's going to get his island, right? No, because people are illegally downloading his music. Stuff like that. I'm like, it's stupid. People with more money than sense. Whereas artists, it's fucking hard enough with artists to get their shit together.
Oh yeah, and look, I don't think I could. I have enough trouble accepting the small amount of money I already get for doing art, and it's not fair. I couldn't do it as a full-time thing.
No, I don't.
Don't give me money.
No, it's hard, and I think between that and between professionals being told they'll get paid in exposure, You know, stuff like that. I think it's a shit deal.
See, the problem is, it's like, at first you're like, exposure is what you want. Not that you want exposure from companies who should be paying customers. You want exposure like on social media, on your own channels. It's very, very different to being like, yeah, make me something and then I'll post about you. And it's like, it doesn't. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I posted a comic on our Twitter feed by someone else yesterday, and for half a second I was like, oh fuck, I didn't credit them or anything like that, and then I realized their website was on the comic, so it was perfectly fine. But it's like, oh god, what have I done? So I've got that instilled in me now. It's
hard. It's really hard. And then, you know, I think the thing is with people using AI calling themselves artists, that annoys me. That annoys me.
That's like saying, they're more than anything, they have commissioned the art, and that is it.
Yeah.
Just a sec. What's it doing?
Okay, Google, on.
I can just hear Google going off and not actually doing anything.
Okay, Google.
Wayne is currently experiencing technical difficulties.
It's playing up because it knows that we're talking about it and its brethren.
Yeah.
Yeah. My Google does not want to play ball. Oh, speaking of playing ball, that is something I've been watching is A League of Their Own.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm late to the party. The TV series, not the movie from the 90s, which I have seen.
Is this the one that's like the sports quiz show thing?
No. This is set in the 1940s, wartime, where the baseball has a women's league.
I don't mean the film, you idiot. I mean the series.
Yes, I'm talking about the series as well.
Oh, there's a series based on the film.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I guess so.
No, just because there's
I don't really remember the film.
There's a sports quiz show here called A League of Their Own. That's why I was like, okay, that's weird. And I thought you were making fun of me because I know what the film is.
No. The series is basically the film, like a reimagining, I guess. But as a kid, A League of Their Own always sounded like one word to me. A League of Their Own. And I did not realize that it was A League of Their Own. I've seen that movie multiple times as a child. I mean, sure, Tom Hanks is cool and all, but why would I have seen? Okay, granted, one of the times I wasn't really watching it. Me and John, my brother, for some reason, there was a bunch of flies in the house, and we were chasing them with tea towels and trying to kill them with tea towels. And then when all the flies were dead, we were scaring the shit out. I had a pet bird as a child. We were scaring the shit out of the bird by throwing the tea towels from nowhere at the cage. Yeah. Assholes, I know.
I think you're the reason for your fucked up childhood.
No, I'm the reason for the bird's fucked up life.
I think it's entirely self-inflicted.
You're right. I should never have watched A League of Their Own.
Do you know what? This is all because you didn't watch Beetlejuice as a child.
Yeah, if I had watched Beetlejuice as a child, things would have been very different. I would have kept Tristan as a friend, I'm sure. That's the guy who wanted me to watch it. I'm surprised I still remember his name. It may because it was a defining moment in my life that never happened.
Clearly.
I don't know. Maybe.
Clearly.
I got new bedding the other week.
Oh.
A quilt cover, and I shelled out for it. I paid a whole $14 for a quilt cover pillowcase set.
Breaking the bank there, Giovinazzi.
Do you want to know what the thread count is?
Yes.
I think it's like 1 or something. Yeah, it's not good. It doesn't feel comfortable whatsoever. No. See, usually my quilt covers are like, I've got one which is Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. I've got a Super Mario Brothers one. This one, though, it's just like, I think it's meant to be space themed. But now that I've put it on my quilt, it just looks like my quilt is covered in like dust and shit. Yeah, and it feels really scratchy, but I'm not one to shell out more than $14.
See, that's the thing. That bamboo sheets. Oh, A+, perfect. Cannot get better.
Bamboo. I think I tried a bamboo pillow once, and I wasn't a fan. I struggle with pillows. I struggle to get pillows that do not hurt me, more or less.
Pillows or pillowcases? Because I think
pillows.
Yeah, because the bamboo pillowcases are really soft and silky. Pillows I can see getting really hard to find. Yeah, I think most of mine come from IKEA.
See, I had an IKEA pillow for a while, and that was okay.
Yeah.
But then I think I started using duck feather pillows for like 4 pillows in a row, so for like 4 years. But then it started to creep me out a bit, and I couldn't really use them anymore. And now this pillow, I don't know where it came from, but I was desperate and I needed one, and I picked it up off the floor, and it's like this works fine. And I have to travel with a pillow as well, because I can't do like hotel pillows and shit. So this is the one that came with me last year to America, and it will be coming with me again. So
I end up stealing all the extra pillows in my
the house, or
I think I've got like
you stole pillows
for being the sole occupant of my bed. There are 8 pillows on my bed for me, all for me.
Like right now at home on your bed, there are 8 pillows.
Yes, and that's not including
of various shapes and sizes.
Yep. No, just the standard pillow sizes. I mean, that's not including like cushions and stuff. That's like decorative.
Okay. Do you do the whole thing like every night you take off 7 of the pillows, place them neatly in like a container, or no?
No, I use all of them.
You just launch yourself at the mountain of pillows.
I just prop myself up at a 45-degree angle with all the pillows.
Oh, okay. So you're like sleeping upright.
To be fair, I don't think I actually do.
To be fair.
But I do. I sort of block myself in. So there's I usually sleep on my side, and there'll be a pillow, at least one pillow behind me, maybe 2 pillows in front. I'm usually holding a pillow and have like 2 underneath me, at least.
Yeah. See, fucking hell. The worst part about this is I know exactly when this moment was, when my life changed for the worse. And it was 2018. My sleeping life. My bedtime. Yeah. The rest of it, who knows?
I thought you were going to go somewhere, and I'm like, we
August
don't want to talk about
1985. Yeah. No. So it was... is that still recording? Oh, yes, it is. Just make sure something else was recording. So it was night 2 of being at Disneyland in 2018. I was having trouble sleeping, or I felt ill or something, and I had to like grip a pillow to sort of support myself up on my side. Ever since then, I cannot lay comfortably or sleep comfortably without something propping me up like that on my side. And it drives me insane, because not because it has to happen, but I know when the turning point was.
That's funny you say that, because I think my sleeping habits changed around that same time. My sleeping habits got messed up when I had glandular fever, because I was sleeping all the time. And even like, when I was... even when I was back in my room...
Did you hear the squeakies?
I did.
Yeah, that's my cat.
Yeah, because my room got done in between... My room got, painted and,
redecorated.
Redecorated, that's the word. At the end of my glandular fever. So I would, go to bed and I would pull a quilt up over me. So I wasn't actually in bed, I just had, a blanket or something over me. And I would be out. And I would wake up at, 2 o'clock in the morning and I was like, oh, shit. I think it's also the reason why I can no longer sleep without anything in the background. Because I would fall asleep watching TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can't do that without it anymore.
So you need another life moment to change your sleeping habit. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. You need a meteor to hit the Earth while you're sleeping in a different way, and that'll lock that in.
That's a bit extreme.
For, the next 3 years until the rest of the Earth decays and dies from the meteor.
Yeah.
How do you feel about different shaped pillows, like those V-shaped pillows, the big V shapes?
I don't think I've ever used one of the V-shaped ones. I used to have one of the ones that looks like a seat. It's not quite V-shaped. Yeah, it looks... It's got a big bit at the back and it's got 2 arms sticking out. Looks a bit like an armchair.
Okay, yeah. Yep. I'm familiar. We had one of them for a little while.
I had one of them, didn't really like it. I'd probably be okay with the long pillows. Like
a body pillow?
Yeah. I don't have a body pillow.
An anime girl body pillow?
Like an anime girl body pillow, but not an anime girl body pillow.
Yes. Like it would just be like a beige or something.
I do not own
pillowcase.
a body pillow. I would like to make this very, very clear. And not because I can't buy one in the design I want.
From our off-air discussions, it would be Jim who has that pillow. Yes.
Jim. Yep. I feel like Jim would have a premium collection of body pillows. But yeah, no, I quite like that. I used to have those big sharks you can buy in IKEA?
Yes, whose name I forget.
Yeah, I have one of those. I used to use him as a pillow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? How long have you had it for? Did you have it before it was cool to have one?
I think I got it around the same time. I bought it because again, during glandular fever, I went to IKEA and was sad.
Before then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's only like in the last year that people were like, look at my cool shark. And then there was memes and shit about it.
I think that's probably, it was a Tumblr meme first. So I got it around the time it was a Tumblr meme. And the internet takes like 2 or 3 years to catch up.
Yes, the rest of the internet. Mm-hmm. Where I reside, like on Reddit and Imager. It'll get to Twitter one day.
Yeah, very much.
But yeah, I mean, it's this quilt. It's I think I said it was meant to be space themed, but it's very weird. You know what it looks like? It looks like, have you seen those videos of those like street artists in New York where they're using spray paint cans and like they put a bowl over and then spray, and it's kind of like that, but not cool. It's like someone's just I'm just going to spray the blue for about 5 seconds, and let's get some yellow. It's like, I'll get a photo of it. We'll put it on the socials.
Yeah. Mine's is very boring at the moment. Mine's is just bears.
Bears.
Yeah.
You got a bear on your shirt as well. Is it the bear?
It's it's the Chris's.
Beware the bear. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris's bear t-shirt. It's comfy.
Oh, Chris dropped in for my whole stream yesterday, and I'm not going to say why because it's not my place. It's related to the bear. Enough said. Chris knows what I'm talking about, and anyone else who dropped in on the stream. Oh, speaking of the stream, you know how I got cat cam, right?
Yes.
And cat cam doesn't work anymore because my computer doesn't like to accept any more USBs, so it's a little dodgy. So if I plug in my second camera, all my USBs freak out. Yep. And 2, obviously, it's named for a reason, cat cam, and if there's nothing to go on the camera, so instead what I've been doing is I'll take a photo of something random, and I did this before anyway because the cat would never show up for cat cam. I just put something random in its spot. Yeah. So now I'm just taking a photo of something. Like a couple of weeks ago it was Squishy Piggy and that, but this past stream I've got like a plush Garfield from like 1978 or something, maybe early 80s. So it's one of those like original style looking weird, not original. So maybe it must be the 80s. So it's like second iteration Garfield. And it's like this big, yeah. And it was on the camera. And now when I go full screen cat cam, I put like animated GIFs around it, like 1990s GeoCities style GIFs. You know what I'm talking about? So there's a website called GIF Cities, which scours all the archived GeoCity sites and brings you back GIFs that you've searched. So I just typed in Garfield. I tell you, there was a lot of shit I did not need to see Garfield
I can imagine. Yeah, there's...
It was not good. But some of them also credited the websites they were from, not just like as a link, but like on the actual GIF as well. Oh, is this hurting you every time I say GIF?
No, I've been on the internet long enough to know what some of these GIFs will look like. Yeah.
See, I meant just like how I'm pronouncing GIF.
I know.
I'm beyond caring anymore. I don't care how, like, you could say GIF and I won't. Actually, no. Yeah, I won't care. And speaking of GIF, I thought I was a GIF peanut butter guy, right? And then I've just tried Skippy peanut butter, and Skippy is far superior. I'm surprised I've tried both in my lifetime, honestly, for products that are not available in Australia.
I know that Penn is a Jif peanut butter guy.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Jif peanut butter was nice, but I'm preferring this Skippy. But yeah, it was hard to do that, to look through those gifts, just to find like a Happy Garfield and a flying lasagna, pan of lasagna with wings, which I knew existed because in 1998, I went to the Garfield website and there was a game, like a flash game called Lasagna from Heaven. And I had those lasagnas with wings falling down and you were Garfield and you had to eat them. True story.
There you go.
I also realized when... because the comic that I was drawing as well was also very Garfield-esque. It was a request from Chris. When he was on the show, he said that to do the Ghost Spider comic, and I was like, that is like, it's pretty much spot on a Garfield comic. But I adapted that, so I had Garfield on the camera, was talking about Garfield and doing a Garfield comic, and I realized, like, as a kid, I had so many Garfield comic books and that, and read them all, and so much Garfield shit in general. And I'm surprised that I'm drawing comics. I only kind of like that sort of only clicked in my head like in the past year that there might be a little bit of a relationship there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes a little bit of sense. Like besides like anime and stuff like that, because not anime, but like your manga books and that, it's not necessarily a specific. It's more of a type of thing. Do you have a specific like Garfield stuff? There's something that you collect or did collect?
When I was a kid, I used to collect the Beano comic, which I think Beano might be...
Beano?
Yeah.
Beano sounds a bit racist.
It was... God, I don't think it is. But it's still going. I mean, it's been going for...
Really?
Fucking donkey's years.
I've never heard of it. First issue was 30th of July, 1938.
Yeah, there you go. 84 years.
4,000th issue strip, I guess, in August 2019. Fuck a duck.
Yeah, but that and its sort of counterpart, the Dandy, they're both based in Dundee. Okay. And they're both famous enough that the Dandy has a character called Desperate Dan, and there's a statue of him in Dundee.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
I wonder if there's a statue of Garfield in Indiana. There must be.
Yeah.
But have you visited this? How far away is Dundee?
About an hour and a half drive. I have been there once in my... certainly once in my memory. I might have gone there when I was a little kid, but I don't remember. But I had to go to the Dundee office for work. Not last year, year before.
There's 3 offices. Wow. Is there more than 3 offices?
There's more than 3 offices. There's at the very least, there's Edinburgh, Glasgow, Dundee, North Berwick, the Lincoln office, which is down in England. And I know we've got people in Aberdeen, but I don't know if there's an office there.
Wow.
So yeah.
This is not this company is a lot bigger than I thought. I didn't think it was small by any means, but...
Oh, we're just into the medium company territory, so...
yeah.
We're not huge.
Yeah. But not conglomerate either. Like,
no.
Not conglomerate and not mum and pup. Mum and pup? It's a dog and the mother.
Yes.
Mom and pop. There you go.
Yeah.
I have to say it right. Yeah, I had so much Garfield shit. One time, statute of limitations, I think, have probably passed on this. So there's a chicken restaurant, fast food chain in Australia called Red Rooster, right? Yep. And of course, everyone thinks it's a funny joke to call it Red Rooter because, yeah, jokes. Like McDonald's and that, they had like their version of a Happy Meal. And for this month, it was a Garfield toy, right? Get a different Garfield toy with every little red meal or whatever the hell they called it. But out the front, they had this giant Garfield poster, right? Like huge, like wall-to-floor size in the house. And I think it was John's idea, said, we should steal that one day. And it's like, okay, why not? And we picked him up from work one day, driving home past Red Rooster, and it was a very windy night. And this poster, it was flying off the frame, right? It was attached by like one little zip tie. It's like, more than anything, if we take it right now, we're saving someone from potentially getting killed from this giant flying poster at 1 a.m. at night, 1 a.m. in the morning. So, of course, we had scissors in the car. This was not preempted at all. Cut the zip tie off, realized it wasn't going to fit in the car because this was like a tiny Mitsubishi, I think it was a Mitsubishi Sigma, tiny little thing. And like, so the poster's folded up. It's like on core flute. Do you know what core flute is?
I don't think
It's like this plasticky stuff. Yeah, anyway, irrelevant. Quite often you'll find like signs are made out of it and things like that. But get it in the car, and then all of a sudden there's this car coming towards us, and their high beams turn on. And we're like, oh shit, it's the cops. And then the car drives past, and it was just a taxi. So I don't think the police would even care. But I'm sure statute of limitations is up and over by now. It's fine. But that right now as we speak, so that small 1980s Garfield, I've got one in the roof space, which is like 5 times the size of it. So it's like this fucking big, a fat Garfield sitting around. I'd go and get it and take a because someone gave it to me one year for Christmas, and I don't know.
Fair enough.
It lives in the roof now. Yeah. And this we talked about on one of the missing classic amazing episodes of Hey Buddy Nice podcast, which I said we would never bring up any of the topics we discussed, but it's relevant to what I'm talking about, so I figured.
And I can't remember any of the topics because I was fucked up.
Oh, Brogan was fucked up. Yep. Brogan had a night on the town, was filled with so many drugs, can't remember a damn thing. So this is all new to you then, this Garfield alarm clock that I've got. Yeah.
I would like to point out it was the time when I was getting my teeth taken out. That's why I was fucked up.
Yeah. You were it. In retrospect, it's probably a good thing that those as good as that first episode was, it's probably a good thing. It didn't make it past, didn't survive recording. Yeah. But when you set your alarm, obviously you use your phone for your alarm, yeah? Mm-hmm. So, like, do you just set the one alarm and that's good enough to wake you up, or do you, like, no?
I have multiple alarms.
Scoffing.
I have seen myself set an alarm after my initial alarm has gone off, so I can take another 5 minutes. Yeah,
I've done that before. Did you is yours just like called alarm 1, alarm 2, up to alarm 27?
They're not even numbered, they just say alarm. Sometimes I think I only put a note on an alarm if it's like, you know, like I put an alarm on my phone for 12:30, and that was on Christmas Eve, and that was to remind myself it was a half day. So it was like 12:30, stop working.
Go home. Brogan, go home. This is your phone speaking. Go home.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's about the only one that's got a note on it.
Yeah. I set 3 alarms, and I'm up at the first one. So I wake up and I turn off the other 2 before they have a chance to go off, because I don't know. I used to always get up on my very last alarm. Yeah. But since this job, it's like I can't afford to, really. Because it's like I can't afford to be late. But my alarms, my first alarm is called cunt. Second one is called shit. Third one is called fuck. Yeah. That's probably not the right order they should be in. Like the first one should probably be the last one. Like if I've missed the first 2, then it seems more appropriate. Yeah. What about like alarm clocks, radio alarm clocks? Did you ever, or have you always just had like a mobile phone to wake you up?
I owned like one of the classic alarm clocks with the sort of bells on top and thing. That was a Tinkerbell one that my cousin brought me back from Disneyland. And you know, this when I was a little kid, and I had to wrap it up like in a blanket and put it away because I could not. It was one of these ticking clocks, and I'm like, that's all I could hear. Oh god. So I never set the alarm on that because I never knew how to. The only other alarm I've had was like a.
What was it? Digital or was it analog?
No, analog.
Yep.
The only other one I've had was a digital one where it would turn the radio on at a certain time, but I figured out how to set it so it would start playing a CD when my alarm was going off. So I used to like have... I don't even think it was mixtapes. I think I just used to play Cold's album Year of the Spider.
Okay.
It's a good album.
That's something to wake up to.
Still a good album.
Sure. Maybe we did talk about this because we've talked about Cold before.
Yeah.
And I only know of one song. And I only remember one song. But I recognize some titles, but I think I only remember one song. And I tried to listen to it recently after we discussed it, and I was like, no.
I do enjoy that album a lot.
So Cold is an emo band, yeah?
I don't know, but I know where you're going with this, so just do it.
I just don't know if they are emo or not, really.
I don't think so. I'm actually having to look this up. I wouldn't have...
Maybe pop punk?
Even that sounds a bit upbeat.
You're saying emo sounds too upbeat for them? It's certainly not goth.
Genres: dance, electronic, hip-hop/rap, and rock. I mean, I don't think any of the first two would apply to Year of the Spider, but...
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, my audio tastes were specifically honed in on back then. It was like nu metal and Korn, System of a Down, Limp Bizkit, and stuff like that. So it's not surprising that a song or two wound up into my playlist.
Yeah, certainly that album is marked as a post-grunge, alternative metal, nu metal.
Post-grunge,
so that sounds more,
right.
Yeah, that sounds more like...
Okay. See, I'd been gifted like radio alarm clocks and stuff as a kid, but one I did buy myself was a Garfield one, shaped like Garfield, analog clock, right? And like you said, setting the alarm on it is fucking a chore because you can't set it precisely. Like you would have to like set it to where you think 7:15 is, and then wait for the time, like make the time go fast and past it to say, yep, that says 7:15. It's gone off at the right time. Cool. Now I can set the time back to the correct time. That's how I used to have to set that alarm. I don't even know why I continue to use that and not get myself a different alarm clock, because not only was it a bitch to set, but when it wakes you up, it doesn't just do like a ringing noise. It doesn't have like the voice of Bill Murray or Lorenzo Music saying, hey, guess what? It's time to wake up. I'm Garfield the cat. It yells at you in Korean. Yeah. So not only am I getting woken up by this shouting, screaming, I don't even know what it was saying.
Oh, that's
I did
hilarious.
find out though. I found out because I was working with someone from Korea a few years ago, and I was like, "Hey, can you tell me what this is saying?" I just did an audio recording of it, and he listens to it and he just starts laughing. It's like, "What is that? Where did you get this?" It's like, "Oh, it's an alarm clock I've got of Garfield the cat." It's like, okay, that makes a bit more sense. It's like, yeah, why? What's it saying? It's saying, when are you going to wake up, you fat, lazy bastard? Get up or I'm going to bite you. So I'm like, okay. It's like, is that a direct translation, or are you like, bit of creative license there, friend? It's like, no, that's more or less the best translation you're going to get. So yeah, I had a Korean Garfield yelling at me for at least a year.
Fair enough. And did you learn that Korean phrase?
It starts with "Ya Aguna." That's all I remember. I'll have to find. I don't know where it is, honestly. I'll have to find it and get a recording of it. Yeah. So just to find. Oh, not just that. He asked me where I got it from, right? And when like. Of course, it's a weird name to be called something in the West, but he thought nothing of it. He was like, "Oh wow, yeah, that's a popular chain in Korea," but the shop was called Morning Glory. Yeah, it was a bit weird.
Yeah,
but he was excited that I had something that shouted in Korean and from a store from Korea.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I tried to come up with an accent challenge, like a challenge for us, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when Google Translate wasn't always the best?
Yes.
So
it's still
back in the
not
day,
great.
I think it's gotten a lot better because back in the day, I would translate stuff and it would I would translate it to one language to another, back to English, and it would be completely different. Now it's exactly the fucking same.
The reason I say it's still not great is because I can say this because the episode is out by now. Slaking was asking me something about. It says, "Are you aware of the sports brand Le Coq Sportif?"
Yeah.
Right. I was like, God, I haven't seen that for ages, but yeah, no, I'm aware of it. And he's like, oh no, just because the boys bring it up on Monday's episode, blah blah blah. So I put it in Google Translate, and it came out as cock jock. And I'm like, it literally translates to cock jock. He's like, it translates to the sporty rooster. Or the sporting rooster.
The sporty roosters.
The sporting rooster makes more sense. But I was like, cock jock is far superior. For a show that has a segment called Cock Jock versus Nerd.
Exactly. But that's the sort of shit I was hoping to come back with. That challenge is just not going to work. It was a really good idea, and I was going to tell you to do the same thing with a particular subset of, clues or whatever, but just failed on us. But we do have a real accent challenge later.
I think it depends what you put through it, because I know that so the McElroy brothers from My Brother, and Me have a YouTube series called Monster Factory, and one of the ones they'd done, and I want to say it was like Dark Souls 3 or something. They played it originally, and they were playing the remastered version. Like, look, we've already done this, so we're just going to put everything. We're going to do a mod that puts everything through like 400, puts it through Google Translate like 400 times, and we just work it out. And it's like the genders are nothing and mother or something, it was something stupid like that. But that's so the failure of Google Translate is alive and well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I remember watching a video. I can't remember what the song was. Oh, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was the theme song to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that this musical group did. And I used to do the same thing to other songs, and it would always come back with hilarious results. Mm-hmm. AI is just getting too good. That's the problem.
It still can't understand bastards. Us, though.
No, that's right. We stopped doing the transcripts of our
we did.
Episodes because not even we can read them.
No.
How are we doing? Okay, yeah. You know what? I haven't sent it to you yet. I should probably send it to you, but I'm going to hit the music anyway, because now it's time for 5 words that sound cool when said by Brogan Hastings.
Ooh.
Going as fast as I can. I'm trying. Whew, there we go.
Discombobulate. Ragamuffin. Trousers. Mr. Boots. Mustard.
I do like trousers as a word. And that is actually one of the classics of the origination of this this bit when it was on 10 words that sound better when spoken by Dave Callan, the Irishman.
Yeah.
Trousers was one of them. But yesterday I was thinking to myself how, like, if I say pants, you think of something completely different. So I'm like, well, what are you going to call pants then? Like, do you just refer to them all as like jeans, slacks, trousers?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no just generic name.
Bottoms, maybe?
Bottoms, okay. So
very,
if you go
very, very rarely.
If you go to a department store, right, to find a new pair of bottoms, in the section, I don't know.
Oh no, in the section
men's
it would
clothes
be like
and children's
jeans.
Clothes. What would it be referred to as?
So yeah, it would be sorted out by jeans, trousers, chinos.
So there's not just like a big sign up the top that says shirts. I guess there isn't really here either. I've been conditioned by television. That's what it is. Mm. That's the sort of thing that happens in department stores on TV. All right, maybe we should get into some art talk then, because we're starting to get to the end of this episode. We were talking about. Oh yeah, you did draw some stuff, didn't you? Because I was looking. I was browsing your Twitter like an hour ago. I'm like, there is nothing here from Brogan. We have got no art talk this week. What are we gonna do?
The problem is, I have done a lot of art this week. I would first like to issue an apology to anybody who sent me a request for Hunky Boy makeovers. I am aware of it. Will get on it. I just had some stuff that was time constraint first.
How many have you got so far, you
4.
reckon?
I've got 4.
Okay. That's. I think I said rough. Did I say roughly or it's precisely? So I answer that again, but say
4,
around
3 of them
4.
human, 1 of them dog.
Ooh, hunky dog.
Yeah. So yes, I am aware of that. I will get on it. It is in the works. Other stuff has been done for our buddy Jobeth, which I'm working on and I can't talk about, but you'll see gradually posters coming up on Elton Magic done by me. But I did do stuff for our shop.
Yes.
I did.
Finally, we got some new merch.
Yes, inspired by our benevolent monarch, King Lord Mr. Dr. Jimothy Michael Joe Bartholomew Esquire II.
Yes, I was reading that as you said it just to make sure it was correct.
You can now have a shirt with his name tag on it, and you can also buy a shirt with a platypus holding a haggis on it, saying the platypus is the haggis of animals, which is a quote from Dr. Jim.
Now, I'm looking at this. I always imagined now we get into the plurals of platypuses and haggises. Haggises. Are they just that weird grey colour, are they?
Yes.
That's disgusting. Grey food is kind of weird.
Haggis are weird, but it's essential. It sounds and looks so much more disgusting than it actually is. I mean, you don't eat it looking like that. That's it in its casing. It says so much more.
Okay.
It's essentially
you don't eat the casing then.
Yeah, it's just a giant sausage that's made of offal.
Which honestly, a lot of sausages are. So
yeah, exactly.
It's not much different to a regular sausage. It's just gigantic is what it is.
Yeah, and you don't, like say, you don't eat the casing, so you put it on the plate and it looks like mince anyway.
Yeah. So the design is a platypus in a cute upright pose with a haggis in its mouth.
Yes.
Now, have you thought of an alternate design where it's a platypus, but its body is a haggis?
I had not, but I will now think of that.
Yeah, I like that idea. Not to throw another art project onto you.
As if I don't have 400 art projects I need to get to.
I could probably have a crack at it, I guess.
I mean,
Why
because
not?
by the time, this episode will drop on the last day of January, which means that as of when people are hearing this, tomorrow, Hunky Boy Calendar Mr. February drops.
Yes, Mr. February.
Mr. February.
February.
Yeah. So I've got some other Hunky Boy stuff to drop, and I just keep creating projects for myself.
Yeah.
I keep projects that are finished. I keep adding to, and it's.
See, that's your own fault there, bud.
I know, but still.
Oh, I forgot to tell you to do something before we started recording, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll do that for the next episode anyway. It's just for the actual... Because you may have noticed last episode sounded a little bit weird. That's because I think we even mentioned it during the show that there's some technical difficulties. So we've gone back to our old school style of recording where we're just recording individually on our own computers. But especially anytime audio drops and music played, because... It sounded a bit weird, like during the intro and that, because it was recorded. Because we ended up using the Zoom recording on my voice, on my track. It also had the music behind me at a low level, So I try to remove it as much as possible, then overlay a fresh track. And yeah, but we're not going to have those issues if we continue doing it with just individual recordings. So I think this might be the future. Yeah. And then there's going to be another, by the time this episode comes out, there's going to be another design on the store because I made it. They're sitting there waiting. It's and multiple people have said that they want this, and it's Floaty Cat.
I do love Floaty Cat. He's so cute. I
do like Floaty Cat. I'm thinking just the big Floaty Cat image, or should it say Floaty Cat as well?
I think just the image. I think you should do two versions. I think you should do one that's big Floaty Cat and one that's just a little Floaty Cat in the corner.
Like a pocket Floaty Cat.
Like a
hovering over the pocket.
Yes.
So you can have the shadow on the pocket. All right, I'll do that with the profile Floaty Cat because this one's the front-on Floaty Cat. So yeah, check it out at along with all of our designs, nicepodbud.com/store. Or if you want to give our friends at Ice Cream Social some jingle as well, you can go through their store and find our stuff by going to
storejingle.com.
Store Jingle. That's it. Yeah,
I
couldn't
love
remember
that website, and I love the song that goes with it. And Chris and I were talking about this the other day, and he said, "What's the website again?" And I just went, Store Jingle,
Store Jingle. Yeah. We got a store. When they first launched that, with that jingle, I didn't realize that it was from a drop that had been gotten from like the episode before. And every time it was played, I thought it was Matt doing it real time every time. The totally real Matt Donnelly.
Oh my God.
Doing this song every time. Because I didn't like realize that it was the exact same as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
I think all their jingles, though, you can't help but go along with them every time.
I mean, the best one is still the Scoopfest 2022 discount code.
Oh, Superman, Catwoman, Flash, Darkseid, 22, Catwoman again.
Yeah.
Jazz hands. And, I mean, even though, the classics clearly come from Justin, Froyo Soft Serve. Even our interim theme that we were graciously allowed to use, the Snake by the Whiskey, Whiskey by the Snake. There's two versions of that song because there's the version that Justin did, and then there's the version that they were singing on the show.
Yeah.
Are you even up to that?
I don't even think I'm up to that yet. I'm trying to catch up on all my podcasts and then go back to it.
Yeah. Because as good as Justin's version is, there's just something about the guys. I can't remember who else was in the studio. I think there might have been some other people, maybe not. But just them, a bit into their cups. Thanks to Tiger Snake. And then just constantly breaking out into Snake by the Whiskey, Whiskey by the Snake. Just constantly going on like that.
See, there's also that one. And I do have to say, Jacob's Jock versus Nerd theme is still my absolute favourite.
His one original Jock versus Nerd one?
Yeah, the Chicago Bulls
it is
song.
It's Chicago Bulls. It's sports ball, really. That's what it is.
But it's literally the Chicago Bulls.
It's for the ultimate battle.
Yeah.
Well, it's been to any basketball game I've ever been to.
Oh, right.
Honestly.
No, the reason I say that is because it's literally credited as Chicago Bulls theme.
Oh, really?
Everywhere, yeah. It has an actual name, but it is credited as Chicago Bulls theme.
Okay, because they play at the Wildcats and that, so...
I'm not surprised.
Interesting.
It's a good song.
You are talking about the one where it goes to Revenge of the Nerds, yeah? Is the second part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
okay.
I mean, that bit's okay, but the whole theme part, the Chicago Bulls theme song, is just A+.
So Art Talk again, back to Art Talk. We had a little production meeting there. So there's designs on the shop. Nothing else really besides your unmentionables. Besides your untalkaboutables. Let's go with that instead.
Yes, there will be a new Penn and Teller bit on Friday, but I will talk about that next episode if we bring up Art Talk again.
We shall not bring up Art Talk again this week.
I think it will be
okay.
Teller and George.
Save it for...
I don't know.
Teller and... Oh, George, yeah. Sorry, I was thinking you mean Georgie. But yeah,
No.
you mean... Yep.
The puppet one, because I
So
fucking love that bit.
What is Penn going to be doing then?
Penn's not going to be in this one.
Are you going to do... You could just like zoom out a bit and have him in the wings. I was going to say smoking a cigarette, but he don't smoke anymore, so...
They're not... Both of them are not in every single one, because Penn's Miser's Dream, you know.
Yeah.
But I do like the Taylor and George bit. Has a special place in my heart.
Have you done Red Ball? I can't remember.
I haven't done Red Ball because I can't figure out the best pose to do it.
What I want to see is Teller looking all sad, Penn in the full boot pose, and the ball like flying off in the distance.
I could do that.
Like
I suppose
Penn
I
in
always,
full punted mode.
Yeah, I always try to do it so you can see what the trick is, but it doesn't work with every trick.
Well, otherwise it just looks like a red dot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's like you don't know if that ball has been floating through the air, or if it's just sitting there, or what.
Not so good at this.
The first comic we're looking at today is an older comic. It's comic number 372. Working title, Snow Angel. It's 3 panels long, and in the first panel we see a father and a daughter, young girl, and they're outside and it's been snowing, and there's a snowman off in the distance, and the little girl is asking her father,
Daddy, can we make a snow angel, please?
and in the second panel the father responds, sure we can, sweetie, and in the last panel we see that they've both whipped out shotguns and shot a giant hole into the snowman, and the snowman is bleeding out to death. That's the comic.
Not so good at this.
And the other comic we're looking at today is also a throwback comic. It is Piff #1. That's right, we're doing a Piff comic. I'm not so good at this today. This is the first official Piff comic, and it's 3 panels long. In the first panel, we see Piff and Mr. Piffles on stage with a giant cannon, and Piff is saying, for this trick, I'll be firing Mr. Piffles out of this cannon. And in the second panel, Mr. Piffles is replying,
Excuse me, who makes the money in this relationship?
and in the last panel, we see that Piff is in the cannon. That's the comic.
I feel it's appropriate for me to do Mr. Piffles in that comic because Mr. Piffles is Scottish.
Is Mr. Piffles Scottish?
Mr. Piffles is Scottish.
Oh, of course he can be. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
He's from Dundee, I believe.
I forget that Piff is from the UK sometimes.
Because he got Piffles during the Edinburgh Festival, and he's either from Aberdeen or Dundee, but I think Dundee.
Yep. So Mr. Piffles is Scottish.
He is. He's a good Scottish boy.
That's why he was comfortable around you. He was like, my people.
Yep. My people.
My people. Anyway, you can see lots more comics in multiple places. The best place is probably like social media and Twitter and that. But if you don't like that, you can go directly to notsogoodатthis.com or piffcomic.com. I'll be honest with you. These websites have not been updated for a long time. I do not know what the last comics on there are, but this is before I started adding like actual color to the comics as well. They're like mostly black and white. It's just the eyes.
You should maybe update that.
Yeah, I should, but do you know how time consuming that is going to be?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. But anyway, you can also reach out to us on the social medias, and that is at NicePodBud. Everywhere you find us on social media, that's how you can find us. But you can also email us, admin@nicepodbud.com. Send us accent challenges, any other challenges you got. Art. We haven't done any art. User-submitted art crimes. That's what we're calling. We need some art crimes. That'd be nice. But you can also talk to Brogan on the interwebs at 7billionneedles.
You can talk to Wayne at Wayne Geo.
And how do folks request commissions from you?
Oh, you. As if I've not got enough going on. How do you? I don't actually know. If you go to my Twitter, the link is in my bio.
Anyway, thanks for stopping by and having a listen.
As always, stay fresh, cheese bags.